Okay, today is March 29, 2015. Let's take a look at the market and then we take a look at a few stocks later on. First of all, let's take a look at the S&P 500. I accidentally closed the chart and erased a lot of this stuff, so we just reconstruct some of the levels that we've been watching. For example, essentially we're watching this particular pivot high here back in December, right? And a week ago, not last week, but a week ago, we were saying that they need to reclaim this level. Then when it get back up above that level, we essentially, was then be on watch for the possibility of coming back up to this new high, this all-time high, and possibly maybe retest it and even put in a new high. So you can see that it actually came back up, and then on Monday of this week, last week, we sort of got this little bit of a shooting star type of candle. Then the following day, we also got a candle formation that actually ended up like a evening star type of a candle pattern. So that kind of set things off for the week. And then on Friday, actually on OPEX, it's kind of have a very subdued and quiet day. So right now, we're still kind of looking at this particular level here, somewhere around the the 2040, 2043 area. If it hold at this level, then maybe you could come up and try to reclaim this December pivot high again, and then make it back up and try to retest this all-time high. But if it give up on this level, then the low down here will probably most likely get retested. Somewhere down here at these 1990 and 1975 area, 70 area. So these low probably will be retested if it break below this particular pivot low, somewhere around the 2040. Okay. And then on the Dow Jones Industrial, similarly, we're basically looking forward to reclaim this level on this particular pivot high here, which it sort of did on Friday. Previous week. Then again, similar to the S&P 500, we essentially saw this little shooting star, and then we got this little evening star type of pattern. So right now, we're basically looking forward to see could it hold this level. If it's not, again, essentially looking for this maybe the December pivot low, or the the February December pivot low down here. Although we still got this little trend line here, but it's kind of holding or hanging on there. It's all depends how you draw that trend line. So it's kind of hanging in there right now. So I think the key level is somewhere around this, somewhere around 17,600 and change. Okay. And then the NASDAQ 100, NASDAQ 100 also gave up ground. Again, we are basically looking at this, this pivot level here, right? And seems to be holding that level quite well, and was getting ready to actually come in and tag the previous the current all-time high here. Then it kind of gave ground, and you see this 3 straight down candle here, which is not good. And then we just get a big flush on Wednesday. So right now we are looking at this pivot here. Okay, this pivot, see could it hold this pivot low? This pivot high. If it can't, then most likely we probably see it maybe dip down to this level here. So the key thing is to reclaim this level here, right? Then just a matter of coming back up and retest the current high right now. So that's the story behind the NASDAQ 100. And then the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000, also kind of put in a little kind of weird pattern here. We got these double topping pattern, which is double topping candle, which is not good. And you can see that it just it gave up. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 days of gain of 6. Yeah, basically like this entire slew of gain here in just one single day. So that's not very good. Although it's kind of got a little bounce back, but we need to see it. Can it get back up above this level here? Okay, and if give up ground, let's say right now, essentially this pivot high here, and if that give that up, then we're probably looking at these level down here somewhere around, what is that, 1206. So let's see, essentially we're talking about these level here, right? Okay. So, and if that give way, then we're probably looking at let's see what this trend line here. We still got this trend line, see, coming up here. So it's kind of still tagging this trend line. So just keep an eye on that. If these level give up, then kind of look at these low here coming down. Okay, so it just work itself down on these pivot low. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about the ETF because the ETFs is really irrelevant because everybody could push the bid and off, the bids and asks to push that up and down. Because I think if we're going to watch the market, we really have to watch the cash index. Okay, so but it's up to your preference. If you want to trade the ETF, then then watch the ETF and trade the spider or the QQQ and the IWM. But essentially, you could take these these level from the cash index and pretty much transpose that to the ETF. Okay. So let's take a look at Apple. Apple, ever since that Apple got debut its presence in the Dow Jones Industrial, it just can't slide down. Originally, I have a price channel coming down. I mean, basically like a a bull flag coming down this way. Let me make a copy of that. Try to get these. Originally got a bull flag on Apple going this way, and it seems to be moving up there until we got this slide coming down. Ever since that it got into the Dow Jones Industrial, I think this is the day. That's the Thursday, the 19th. Yep, the March 19th. It got in there, and you can see. So right now we're essentially looking at a different channel now. Right, so we're talking about maybe the possibility of this particular channel. Let me get a copy of that and then try to set up the channel here. Okay, so essentially you're looking at this particular channel, and if you come down, tag this trend line down here, because we've been watching this 119 level, 119, 120 level for a while, right? Because we're looking at these gap fill. Remember we were talking about these gap here. So these gap got filled, but this one is still open. Okay, so if this thing break below this level, then the chances are you're going to come down and try to tag this 119, 120 level. Okay, then we also have to be aware of the possibility of this H pattern might get broken here. This H pattern. So then with this H pattern, we could talk. Getting down to this 114. Essentially getting back to this January, this is the earning gap, I believe. So it could come down and fill this gap here. Then it could get below this level, maybe somewhere around this 112. I think that's somewhere around that 112. Yeah, 112.50. So those are some of the level to key on Apple. What Apple need to do is really have to come back up, and we take this 129. In reality, it really need to take up this level here. Right? Remember this candle here? This is an outside bar here that engulfed these days here. So it hasn't broken above this level yet. Okay, so even this candle is still below this high. So even though we get the maybe Apple moving up here, it still need to I believe it still need to take out this level in order to show some conviction of making it to the upside. Otherwise, it just maybe a little bit of a fake out, and it just kind of revert back. So it's just kind of have to key on that. Then Facebook, although Facebook been strong recently, and we're saying ever since it got up 4 consecutive days of update, I was kind of tweeting it out to be a little bit cautious, and then start trailing the stop and try to lock in some profit. Right? So and as it turned up, it's 7 consecutive update if you look at these days here. Right? So because these days, this is 7 consecutive update before we get that big flush. So right now we're still holding above this particular level here. This the previous all-time high. Right, so it broke this level here. Right now, still holding above this. Okay, so it's kind of bounce back, but right now we still need to see can it take up, come up and take out this high here. Okay, so right now, broke out of this trading band, and it's still got this riding on this trend line here. So if we come back into this band, then we have to watch this trend line here and this level. Okay, so those are the pivot level. Because right now we're also looking at the Fibonacci retracement on this pivot. Right, so we're still looking at the possibility of it move up, take out this high. There may be a possibility of getting up to 87. Okay. Then on Twitter is also kind of interesting as well. Right, there was actually quite a number of entry. Okay, so let me point that out on all these different entry that one could have taken on Twitter. Because, oops, let me see what I want to do. I want to take that trend channel here. All right, so we got this here. All right, so this right here is basically like a bull flag, right? Right? Okay. And we're talking about taking out this level, which is 47.72. Okay, so that's a bull flag breakout. All right, and then we got the other one, which is also some people is eyeing that cup and handle breakout. All right. Okay. So you basically got this cup and handle. All right. Okay. So you got this breakout. So which is this particular point. Okay. And if we get into the, let me get into the weekly. Okay. And we could also have this trend line breakout. Right. Or let's do it here. All right. So we got this this breakout. I'm going to zoom this back out to 1 day. And maybe I could get that. Where is my trend line? There it is. So we also got this breakout here on this trend line, which is somewhere around this 49.50 level here. All right, so there's actually, well, this also will coincide with the cup and handle as well. So essentially you got this breakout, on the the bull flag. Okay, so right now we're essentially, I'm kind of looking at, using a Fibonacci retracement, we're basically looking at these level, at least, trying to come up in the near term, basically looking for this as a next price target, which is also the 141 extension. Okay, and when it get up that level, and if we go take out that level, then we're probably looking at the possibility to get up to this 1618, extension, which is somewhere around 58, 59, and which is also coincide with this gap fill here, right here. Okay, so those are the some of the key level or price target, potential price target for Twitter if it continue to move up. Now, if it come back down, then essentially you got to hold this 618 here, because we don't want to see it to come down and fill this gap. If it break this pivot, come down and fill this gap, the chances are it's going to come back down and retest all these low, right? Okay, so just keep an eye on that. Don't be greedy. If the just take whatever the market give you. If the market decide to dump, then just bail. And then wait for the next trade to come. And taking a look at Google, Google been kind of interesting. We're talking about this W pattern here for a while, right? This W, okay, and it got up there. Then we're looking at this particular breakout here, right? Okay, right now it seems to be doing a little bit of a trying to trend up on this this little channel here, or big channel. I wouldn't call this a flag, because I that's too big of a trading band for range for a flag. Okay, unless you shrink it down to a monthly, which we'll try and take a look at that on a monthly graph. The monthly chart, maybe we'll take a look at that. Right, then you're basically talking about a flagpole, which is quite long, right? So you basically maybe looking at something like a what, $350 on a pole. So that's pretty extraordinarily long, I would say. To try to make it a swing trade, unless you want to do a position trade and maybe hold it for a year and a half or something. So on Google right now, we're basically just looking for to see could it hold this level as support, okay, and break this level as resistance, and then work itself up above this trend line, and then maybe work itself back up above 600. Then on Netflix, we're looking at Netflix also. And again, we basically was looking at Netflix as a possibility of this gap fill. And if you kind of take a closer look, we also see a H pattern type of breakdown occurring, right? So we're looking at that. Okay, so, and this H pattern kind of take it down on a 1618, extension into this gap fill. Okay, so if we extend this thing down to 261, then it probably will take it down to this particular filling this gap here. Let me go and see if we extend that out, see what happened. Okay. Do I have that? I do not have that on there. Let me see. I thought I'd have that set up. I do. Okay, so maybe it's slower than that. Wow, way down here 300 on the 261. So hopefully you find some support here. I think this is 121 here. Okay, and then get back up. Let me see, is that 121? I think that might be a 127. Let me check out 127. Do I have 127? Yeah, so you can see 127 somewhere around 396. So just slightly above that. So on Amazon was also trying to make a run, but kind of stall and then reverse back. We're thinking that maybe it could do this type of run. Right? The previous week we were talking about, making itself up and retake this 388, and then possibly get back above these level here, these gap fill level here, right? And then maybe put up in come up and retest the all-time high. But right now it appears that it is in attempt to break down on this little bit of a small H breakdown. Okay, if we reverse back to this particular retracement now using the Fibonacci, so then on the 161 it's actually bring this thing back down to try to get close to this gap level. So we're still kind of looking at this as a support level here. Okay, this 340, if it come down, need to hold this level. If it doesn't, then we're basically looking at this potential gap fill down here. Okay, Tesla, what a miss for me. Right, what a miss. I was watching this too, so just kind of didn't bother. I was kind of waiting for it to come back up to this trend line here. Remember the week before I was talking about, I'm waiting for this thing to come up on a trend line and then see if it hit the resistance and reverse back. Then I was going to look at the possibility of buying some put, to go short on it. And also notice there still is quite a big position, open interest on the June 170 put and 150 put. So somebody is betting on the this thing is going down there, and right now it's 185. I believe on a day that actually hit 205 somewhere around here, or this day 205 or something like that. That 170 put is a little bit over $5 right now. I think the last Friday it closed at 9 something. So essentially it's almost double. It's basically like 80%, and that's only a week ago, right? A little bit over a week. So missed that. Right now I'm just kind of waiting for it to bounce back a little bit and see, because I'm not going to chase this thing. I'm not going to pay those premium and try to chase those guys. Okay, but looks like Tesla has got a way to go. Let's see if we put in some retracement level here. Yeah, you're basically looking at this thing, breaking down this channel as well. Right, but if we just kind of look at this thing here, okay, if we do this sort of a retracement and looking at this particular, H pattern, or even if we be a little bit more conservative, okay, and use this particular swing to do the H breakdown, okay, so you're still talking about 127 essentially come dip below this particular pivot low. All right, let me okay, so essentially we're talking about maybe breaking down at this particular level here. All right, then the 127 is somewhere around here. All right, the 1618 is near this pivot low. All right. So you can see that this is 168 and this is 143. Someone is betting it somewhere between, basically between this area here, right? This 170 to 150. So the betting is going to go below 170 and maybe possibly stay above 150. All right. So I mean, assuming that they are doing some put spread or something. Okay. And maybe they're even doing some put ratio spread, because the volume on a 150 actually more than twice as high as the the open interest as the 170. So anyway, I think Tesla, unless it could come back and break this trend line and start making some higher high, I think this thing is gonna continue to slide down. Okay, what else do I have? That's it. Good luck to you all next week.